Right now, our state is doing very well. And with that, I'd like to actually have Representative Biggs tell us a bit about what's happening in the Southeast Valley. And with that, I will yield him as much time as he consumes.
Thank you, Representative Schweikert and Madam Chair. Let me just tell you, Maricopa County is the fastest growing county in the country. Again, by a long shot. And that is reflected because of the economy that's going there. In the town that I live in, the town of Gilbert, they just announced 2,500 new jobs coming in with Deloitte. That is fantastic. It's incredible. When I moved to Gilbert, Representative Schweikert, many years ago, there were 12,000 people and cotton fields everywhere. And today it's 250,000 people, and this is just gigantic. The Arizona Free Enterprise Club has measured the reported job growth in Arizona since the tax cuts and tax reform bill came forward. 125,000 workers have seen increases or bonuses, increases in salaries or bonus. That totals to $215 million. And remember, that's just the reported. That's just the reported benefits and bonuses and raises. The direct financial benefit as a result of tax reform for Arizona is over $1 billion. We anticipate a positive impact of over $1 billion in 2018. That's fantastic. In my district, the average family of four is going to receive tax relief in excess of $2,635. That's the projection. And you and I could talk, Congressman Schweikert, about the many events that we go to, the people we talk to. I was at an event recently, and I walked out. I was getting ready to leave, and a gentleman came up to me, and he said, "Are you Congressman Biggs?" I said, "Yes, I am." And he said, "Thank you." I said, "Why is that?" And he said, "The tax reform." He said, "I'm a bartender. I will keep $5,000 more this year. I'll have a net impact of a positive $5,000. And I said, "Well, do you care if I tell your story?" He says, "Yes, tell my story, because we want to see this happen again and again." And so I have a whole list I brought tonight. I don't know if this is what you want, but I can list. Philip from Mesa said that his wife's take-home pay has affected their household for the better. And this is something that they wanted us specifically to mention, they don't consider the extra income to be crumbs. It's meaningful to people who live, whether you're living paycheck to paycheck or what. These are meaningful to them. Matt from Gilbert said that his increased tax refund for his business was appreciated, and that he and his family will save literally thousands of dollars this year because of the tax cut laws. Rusty is a veteran from Mesa. He told us that the tax plan has done wonders for him and his small business, and that his employees, he's passing this on to his employees, and they'll be making more money per month. And he's got extra revenue in the business because other people generate this economic activity. This ripples through. It isn't like it's a one-off. It ripples through the entire economy. So they've hired a new employee. For a small business, that is a monumental decision. Do we have enough business? Do we have enough revenue to bring a new employee? They hired someone. The tax cuts helped. So I want to take just a quick second to tell you that I go out when I'm in district to various businesses and business owners, small business owners, anywhere from 5, 15, maybe 20, 25 people in their business. Every one of them that I've met with in the last year probably is looking to expand, and they have the problem of finding qualified employees. Arizona, I've talked to the governor. We have literally hundreds of thousands of jobs where people are trying to hire folks, and we can't get them in. This is a great thing to have. It's a great problem to have. I think we should be celebrating what's happening around this country. And particularly as an Arizonan and a lifelong Arizonan, I can tell you, I am thrilled to see this happening in Arizona. We have bounced back from the 2008 recession, Mr. Schweikert. And I am so grateful for you, the effort that you put in to get this bill through, your leadership, and I am grateful to have you for a friend and serve with you in Congress. Thanks for doing this special order tonight. This message has got to get out to the American people. With that, I'll yield back.
Thank you, Representative Biggs. Look, let's actually have a little bit of a colloquy, a little bit of a conversation. Um, for those of us in Arizona, you've seen the data that came out, about 2 weeks ago, that turns out Arizona is actually having what would be the best way, the fastest acceleration of income growth in the entire nation. And now some of that is we were hit pretty hard in 2008. A lot of it is because our state legislature, our governor, have engaged in very pro-economic expansive qualities. And you should actually tell everyone what you used to do before taking this job.
Well, thank you. I guess I'll reclaim time. Is that the way?
No.
I'm good. We just talk away. I used to be the Senate president in the state of Arizona for 4 years and had an opportunity to work there.
So you were there during some of the very brutal years of the previous decade. Do you remember the struggles of trying to keep the wheels on, of how do you cover healthcare, education, and so many of the other needs that are in a state that actually we have a rough situation. We own so little of our land. That I've seen some data where we're the most urbanized state in the country because we functionally live in 2 major metroplexes. That's where most of our population is. And to have a state now where we're seeing some revenue forecasts, and every month it looks like they're having to raise that forecast because of the economic vitality in our state and most of the states around the country. So I think there's often this misnomer of we talk about federal tax reform, and I hold up a chart. It says, hey, last year at this time, we had $456 billion in revenue, and this year we're at this time $510 billion. So the substantial increase. But I think we fail to talk about what's happening in your community, your city, our county, our state revenues, which are also benefiting from this cascade of economic expansion.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's think about this for a second. When Arizona entered the recession era of 2008, the state tax revenue declined by about 40% in an 8-month period. Imagine trying to deal with that. And what's happening now is the converse, because we had to change our attitude. We had to create the type of business-friendly situation that lured and brought business back. Provide those enticements, and they're there. And so what we have now is this situation localized of a business-friendly tax code, business-friendly regulatory, and then an overall attitude of we want you to be here. We welcome new businesses. So, for instance, I can't tell you. I toured Apple World Data Center in my district. A week ago, a little over a week ago. And this, you remember this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that it kind of imploded, right? So there was no one there. And what happened is you now have 200 employees, and they will expand. And they're going to come up, and they'll have 500 employees, high-paying, good jobs. And every one of those employees, they spend money. They buy houses. They go out to eat. They go to movies. This ripples through the economy. And that's just one of many businesses. And like I say, Deloitte coming in. We'll have 2,500. You've got State Farm. I think it may be in your district or near your district. When they're in, they're going to have 8,000 to 10,000 people. I was just at their facility.
Oh, yeah. Look,
fantastic.